I don't like that noise.
So I was thinking, Jake, when you prepare to go to India, how does it feel?
Good,
Good? You get excited?
real excited.
So does it give you more energy?
No, I would say satisfaction.
Satisfaction. That's good. So you get to see your family and you get to enjoy.
Yeah.
So Jake, you know what I wanted to talk about today that we've talked a little bit, but I wanted to talk about, every morning I wake up and I pray, as we've talked.
Yeah.
And as I pray and I read my Bible, and I brought my Bible, there's certain things that Jesus Christ spoke of that I find a lot of resemblance with our conversations.
Yeah. That part of the Quran also is that Bible is a chapter in the Quran.
So, for example, he tells us not to worry. You don't seem like somebody that worries.
Yeah.
Is that true?
So what that means is what Christ is indicating is a life, not that just Trump or one of the big ones. I mean, it's the normal life people are going to lead. I mean, there are ups and then there are downs. And that's what the Bible says.
Do you remember times where you felt it was down? Was it the economy? How did you get through it? You just worked harder, or did you?
To tell you the truth, I'm not trying to brag, but for some reason, I was one of the favored ones because I never had to worry about it. The depression, everything went, my business, my family, we just lived the same way. We didn't live high, we didn't live low. But that is one of the things, when you come from a very big family, you understand that you have to give and take. And I'm glad you brought the Bible because we call it the chapter of the Quran. And according to us, we shouldn't be getting into religion, but we will. Jesus Christ, Christians, certain Christians, not all Christians, believe that he was killed. We believe he was not, because he is the man who is going to raise us. So he is alive.
Interesting.
That is my belief.
Right.
Your belief may be
No. It's fine.
different.
It's fine. I find it interesting that what I find interesting about it is, regardless of which one you talk about, everybody believes he walked the face of the earth and he said these words. That's what I find interesting.
Yeah,
How can you not believe?
yeah, right. And that is the same. If you read the Bible from one end to the other end, the whole Bible, all it is telling you is to believe with God and be patient
And humble.
and humble. That comes with patience. So there is no change. He walked all over Asia with just one thing in mind. I'll tell you something. I'm not a Christian, but we used to have a religious class for the Christians. And we used to sit in that because then they didn't know what to do with us. So we were told to sit and do what, or read a book or whatever. And I used to listen to the lectures
When was this?
in India.
When you were a kid?
Yeah, very kid. And the main thing, what I got out of it was the whole 9 years, parts of it I had to attend, sit. So I really started listening and talking to people about who is Jesus Christ, because then they would say that he is one of our prophets also. The thing, every religion has the same message delivered.
Believe in God.
Yes, believe in God and
Love your neighbor.
no blasphemy and no cheating.
Yeah. But as we talk, I think the reason why you've lived such a blessed life is because you follow those rules.
Yeah, I did, to an extent.
But in all the conversations, you have excellent integrity. You would never cheat somebody. You're very humble. You're a very accomplished person, but you don't brag about it. You let your work speak for yourself.
Well, that's what it is, the Bible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought it, because as I read some of these things,
Yeah, you read it, but I also read it. I was forced to read it because I was in a class where I was sitting and I got interested. I mean, like you know more than I will ever, but when they were talking about the eye of the needle,
yes,
and before, the teacher, he said that we'll get into that. And people like me, what the hell is this eye of the needle? There must be a big needle. But then they started to talk about it. And it got very interesting. I missed it by about 100 miles.
yeah. He talked a lot in parables, right?
Yeah, because we were there over the pilgrimage, but we never went to that Syria or whatever, Palestine, where this needle is, the passage.
So isn't that interesting that the same people keep fighting over pride. And it says you should not be prideful. Yet they all believe in what they believe in, which is God. And some of them agree, but they can't be peaceful. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
You think that's just human nature?
So what they are trying to tell you, lead a peaceful life. Don't hurt the other person. That's the gist.
There's one of my favorite in here. I don't highlight too many, but I wanted to read it to you because I wanted to hear what. Oh, here it is. I wanted to hear what you thought about it. So here's what he says. Everyone has been given to those that have been given much. Much will be demanded, and from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more would be asked. Do you feel that as you've been given so many blessings, I mean, you have a great family, you have a beautiful business, you have riches. Do you feel like you have to also give back?
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
That what you receive, 90% you should give back
In one way or another.
in one way or another. Because that's exactly what they're saying, is to share.
But you know what I find is, and I'll give you an example. So, Adam and I have this YPO, and there's probably 60, 70 people we know over 10 years. I can only count 2 or 3 that actually are generous, are humble. Adam is one, obviously. And so what I'm saying is, human nature has such a propensity to think they are what created everything.
You see what you are saying, it goes real deep. The way your father was treated is showing on you. And it's in the Bible and the Quran that 90% of the people take advantage of you. Only 10% will give.
Yeah, that's probably the right number.
Yeah, and that's what the whole thing is.
But-
what they're saying, join the givers, not the takers.
But Jake, as I talked to you this whole time, all this time we've been developing and talking and having great conversations, you don't ever strike me as a taker. I mean, maybe it's business and you did what you did and you got paid for what you did, but personally, you strike me as you always give.
That is in the Bible and the Quran.
And so you learned that as a kid.
Yes, you know, I'll tell you a story. One of our prophets used to go from place to place to place and try to deliver the sermons, to be peaceful, to give, to, what.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody would laugh at him. Say, oh heck, here comes the crowd.
The crazy guy, whatever.
Yeah, the storyteller.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, don't listen to him, don't do that, it's not worth it. And that thing got around to the holy man, and he was again on one of these days sat down and the people gathered around, and he started to tell them that you don't always accept to receive. You should be the one to give. You receive, you give. And the big man whose house they were in, he started to laugh. So this priest, he was sitting next to him, made a fist and hit him square in the jaw. And the guy fell down and started to yell and all that, and he said, that you hurt me. The priest said, where? I don't see it. Now you tell me. How do you explain it?
You can't.
It's faith.
Right.
It's simple, so simple, and yet it is so complicated.
Yeah, right?
All the priest had to do was hit him. And what happened? You didn't break anything. You didn't do. There's no blood, nothing.
It's, so it's morality. It's knowing right from wrong.
Right, right. You know, in life, the God, the priest, tell you to take care of your family first, and then take care of your neighbors. See, the neighbors are a family also. Now, there are not too many people in this world. If you go and tell, oh, he's your relative, because he's your neighbor, he said, you shithead, get the hell out of here. It becomes so simple.
It is, and we complicate it.
And what we do, we try to cheat. And that's what you and I are doing. How the hell I make a buck? Honest way, you make 50 cents. Cheating, you make $1.50. So here is
The tug of war.
the two criteria. Where do you go? It's very complicated and it's very simple.
Yeah, yeah. It's deep.
Yeah, it's how you live.
So Jake, you're 90 years old?
92.
92 years old. And this is a question that, it sounds simple, but I don't know if you've ever thought of it, so I'm going to ask the question. Because as we talk, not just today, when I drive in the car, I really think about this. I know you say your family taught you everything, your values, everything, but you were very wise from a very young age. Do you think that's just blessings that were given to you by God? Because you had 11 brothers and sisters, but not all of them were just as like you or as wise, you know. You seem that you've always had these values instilled by your parents, but...
I'll answer your question. The whole success of my family and similar families like mine because of our elders doing the thing what the Bible says.
And so because the Bible says you reap what you sow.
Yeah,
But
exactly what it said. And you give
right.
90% of that Bible, if you read it, all it mentions is giving, not taking.
Yes, yes. But what I find fascinating, I guess I find it fascinating because as I have kids, that I have to raise. I see sometimes they make the wrong decision and you have to correct them. But there's kids, not my kids, but kids that I meet that I think that the parents have good values, but the kids do, we had one in the Port Streets that just murdered a kid. And so when you say, hey, I lived a very blessed life, which is what you've said. But part of me says yes, but it's because you followed simple rules. And so then I say, well, how is it that he's so wise? Because a lot of people hear the rules, they get beat into it, and they don't follow the rules.
No. One thing you are missing.
Okay?
You call me wise.
Yeah.
Give me a definition
Of wise?
of wise.
What you said earlier, patient, humble, don't cheat, give.
You're missing the main point.
Okay.
A wise means you listen to your elders.
So what you're saying is you listen to your elders and that's how you learn.
Right, that's how you and I are not figuring out how to break into a store and steal things. That is what your elders taught you.
Yeah.
Without telling you.
Yeah.
And that what you got it. So you be grateful that in their own way, not talking, but action, you follow that, and that's the same thing.
So let me. So this is also an interesting question. These are my questions. We talk. So I have maybe 100 cousins. Okay. Of the 100, maybe 3 or 4 are very successful. And so I ask myself, why does that happen like that? They had the same upbringing, they had the same values. And I would then flip it to you and say, Jake, you had 11. You're extraordinarily successful. Yeah, if somebody asked me who is Jake, I said Jake's a very intelligent, wise man is what I would say. And they say why? I say because he's humble. He knows the rules of not this world but the other world, and he's able to navigate through this world. And so, have you ever asked yourself why?
Yeah, I'll put it a little bit different for you. And it's going to be a real difficult question for you to answer. You got 2 daughters. Which daughter you like most? Tell me.
That's hard to.
That's it. Because that is right here.
Right.
You cannot advertise it.
Right.
It's sealed.
Mm-hmm.
You get mad at one, you get mad at the other, But the thing is, You cannot differentiate between the two. And that's why you have a steady life, steady family. I have the same thing because we just kept on following.
You know,
We are followers, not inventors. And our parents did a real good job on us. They never said, now you do this, you do that. But their action is what you follow.
yeah.
And I think if you talk to your two daughters, they'll say the same thing. My dad did it this way, I'm going to do it.
Right.
So, this life, it's how you lead it. You know, you are mad at the world because you work harder than most people and you're making less than most people. But then at the same time, if you take the dollars and throw it away and say, as long as I eat 3 meals a day, go to work, if I have no pain or ache, I should thank God. But you won't. Because as soon as you get to that point, you want more. And that's where the problem comes in. Where do you stop?
It's greed.
Yeah, greed. You said it. There are people who are so greedy, they'll kill their own to get ahead.
Money is the root of all evil,
Yes. See, it's very simple,
but complicated.
and yet, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. You got two daughters. Tell me one thing. You like one daughter better than the other. Are you going to kick that other daughter out,
No.
or if at the final you just split the thing half and half?
That's hard.
Very hard.
And the reason it's hard is because as you know the strengths and the weaknesses, you want to make sure you can take care of both of them.
There it is. That is where we all fail, because we favor unfavorable people.
So you're saying they really shouldn't be any favor.
Right. But we are all greedy, including you and me.
So the idea is, what you're saying is, we're all greedy, know that you're greedy, but control it.
Control it. But you
So have you ever-
always come back to your fathers, your father and mother, your brothers, sisters, and your own kid. That's the word for you.
Right.
Now, if you adhere together, nobody is going to tear you apart.
Right, right. It's interesting how our mothers and fathers really put a mark on our entire life.
No, their behavior did it. They didn't tell you, Rod, go and do this, go and sit down for 2 hours, pray, do this, do that. They did it and you followed it. That's the best education you got. If they had a cane and started to hit you and make you do it, the day you left the house, you leave everything else with it.
So Jake, let me ask you. So obviously you've had big family, and I'm sure you've had disagreements with family members.
It's hard, quite a bit.
And how did you learn to forgive and reconcile the relationship?
Uh, some some of the relationship is you have put a coat of plaster,
A coat of plaster? Uh-huh.
it can crack. So it's a makeup deal. And some, it's not the plaster, it's genuine. That's the difference between the relatives.
And you distinguish the two and treat them accordingly.
Yeah, how they treat you, uh, the way you treat them. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say, you don't go out in the open, take a gun like in the old days and shoot it up.
Yeah. That's so what could you teach about how, when you have a problem in a relationship, how you forgive and how you reconcile?
Well, I'm going to take a little bit different. What I did to Adam and Tammy got them introduced to the job as an employee, not as an owner. Because you see, the thing we all forget that everybody has the right to succeed if he works hard and if he is honest. But then there are people who are honest, who are hardworking, and who are failures.
Why?
That is where God comes in. Always you say it's that God wanted it this way.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Right.
That whole big goddamn mess is just teeny weeny.
A pimple on an elephant's ass.
And once you understand that, you are satisfied with yourself. You're satisfied with your family. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. Even the prophets have made mistakes.
Yeah.
But to admit it and try to correct it, that's where you come.
And try to have the empathy for
Right.
the
That
other side.
I did it wrong.
Right.
And that is very difficult.
Why is that so hard for us as humans? It's very difficult for me.
Very, very difficult for everybody.
Is it the pride?
You see, because this world is so uneven. Take two people over here. they're workers. And then two people, they're running,
Yeah.
they're owners. Now, nobody has come up
With a better system.
with a better system. All they say, God willing, and that's what you got. And that's a bunch of bullshit. I'm telling you,
No, I'm laughing because I agree.
because that's what it is. Now, if I were you, when you want to divide your business, I would take both of them to all the business and say, okay, what do you want? What do you want? You might have a beautiful, I want this business, I don't want this. The other said, I want this business, I don't want. You are a creature from God. And then there is a second alternative, I want both, I want both. Then you are in the middle.
And that's hard.
That is very hard. Yeah, it's
Used
it's
incorrectly.
controlling. You're the controller because you know what's going on. They don't.
Right.
But they learn later on, but it's too late. You see, Rod, nothing comes easy.
Nothing.
Nothing comes easy. It's very hard.
It's hard work.
And when you split the family, you be very careful that you and your wife are not favoring one or the other, and you are a winner.
That's hard.
It's hard, but you'll have to do it.
Right. You did it, by and
Yeah.
large.
I did it, I suffered. But the thing is, I'm telling you these things is, the good things come with the bad things also.
Right.
And the main thing is to get those two gals on the railroad track,
Right. On the right track.
right track. You cannot go on the road because you have to go on the railroad. And as long as they understand, they'll respect you.
Oh, I mean, I see how much your kids respect you, and how do you? It's hard to put the words. It's admirable. Means you did a good job.
Who?
Your children, how they respect you. I see that, and it's admirable how much they respect you.
Well, because the main thing is, the same thing came from, you know, what you do, in the end you're going to give it to them anyway.
Right.
You're not working for yourself,
No.
you found that out.
Yeah.
But when you started, you were going to work for yourself.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, they knock you out, the kids, and you start to think, oh, I'm working for them, not for myself.
You know what's interesting is I think I didn't realize I didn't realize what you said until probably maybe 5 years ago. I kept thinking I was working for me. You know, and my perspective changed because I realized
Yeah,
I'm actually really working to at least leave, help people. I don't want everything for myself.
All you want is your two daughters are comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm going to tell you, if you take one daughter to the two businesses, not and the other daughter separately to the two businesses, and then separately ask them, what would you like?
What do you like? Yeah.
And you might get such beautiful answers that, oh, why are we splitting it? We can work together. They'll throw you off the board. And it happens.
Yeah.
And you, right now you think they'll kill each other.
Right.
It's amazing. That Bible you got,
Right.
it will tell you.
Yeah. It's like you said though, it's very simple, but to live it is very difficult.
That's all it is. All they are saying, all the prophets, they say is live your life in peace within the laws. See, they were very much, every prophet always said, you follow the rules of the country. There was not a single
Right.
one
They all said that.
who said, let's
No,
fight.
they say that.
Huh?
This is what it says. You follow the laws.
Laws of the country.
Right.
It's, you see, and it's so simple. The whole Bible you read, and all you tell the two kids to lead your life,
Like this.
follow the simple rule, no cheating, no this thing, no that thing. And you have covered the whole Bible to them.
Yeah.
But we are all greedy.
And we like to cheat.
We like to cheat.
And we lie.
Yeah. And
It's
the
funny
truth.
if you think it's funny. It's the truth, but it's funny because it's like different degrees. So what we're saying, and I'm in agreement with you, is that the murderers in jail are no different than the ones that are outside.
Right? You said it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I got a bad habit.
You got a bad half?
Bad habit.
That's a good one though.
It isn't good.
It freshens your mouth. Very, very interesting. This is a good talk.
You,
So Jake, are you packed yet for India or not yet?
my mind is packed, not my luggage.
Are you you're gonna be there a long time, right?
Yeah, about 5-6 weeks.
Oh, nice, nice.
I just couldn't come.
You enjoy it. So when we come back, I want to take you to my businesses. I
like to
pick
see
you up.
Yeah, I like to spend some time.
So, and then we'll see you on Sunday, right?
Sunday at
Saturday,
9.
Saturday at 9. Saturday.
Saturday
At 9.
9 o'clock.
Saturday at 9, and then
8:30.
and then Sunday on the airplane
No. Saturday where?
at your house at 9
Yeah,
with my daughter.
yeah.
And then Sunday, I'll see you on an airplane going to India.
Oh, next week?
This week we go to India.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Oh, coming
Sunday.
week.
Yeah.
I haven't done it.
Adam bought us the tickets, right? We're not. He didn't pay for it. I paid for mine, but we're in the new jet that has a bar at the end of the hallway. So I've never been on an airplane with a bar.
I have been there.
I've never been. It's I'm looking forward to having fun. You know GS? Do you know GS and Manisha?
I don't know.
So it's going to be me and my wife, Adam and Debbie, you, and GS and Manisha all sitting business class. We're all in the same area. So we should have fun.
Oh, yes.
Okay.